Um, Mehul Patel, it's Mayho. It's Mayho wants to know, will the digital copy be updated to make up for patches?
That's the plan. Obviously, there's going to be 6 characters coming out in the first year. Um, Capcom has stated that they're not going to be doing a balance patch until after Capcom Cup, which I hope that's true. I don't want big changes to the print book any more than anybody else does. For now, anyway. Uh, but yeah, so the plan is to update the e-guide with new characters and stuff
Nice. Okay.
through the first year, so through next February.
So, okay, yeah, but then the print, obviously the print version is pretty much hard to update. Um,
Yeah, and I know that's the thing people always say, but yeah, inevitably there's going to be a typo here or there, or there's going to be a thing or two that changes. But 99% of the stuff is going to stay the same for a while.
mhm. Azunim in the chat. Hold on. Azunim in the chat wants to know, why do you think Laura is good? All her pressure is -2.
Oh well, that's not exactly true. The best moves to do are kind of not obvious, like her back throw into a forward dash, and assuming they quick rise, you're +2. So you can actually do something like back throw, dash, and a command throw, which they use a 4 frame window for them to do anything. So you're pretty much getting grabbed unless you backdash or do a reversal uppercut. Because if you do a 4 frame jab, you get grabbed because throws out priorities jabs. So yeah, remember that setup: back throw into a dash and a command throw. That's really good. And our other setups are like standing short is +2. So -2 is only if you get your jab bolt charge blocked, which is your Rekka, your jab Rekka. If that's blocked, that's -2. That's obviously not good, but that's better than being punishable. On hit, you're +2, and you're both standing, and you're in range to do a command throw. So yeah, Laura is far from bad. She's awesome. Like if you can get like a really good rhythm of guessing game going, you can probably dizzy someone just from command throws and back throws.
Wow.
That's why I think Laura's really good. And she's like, I hate grapplers in fighting games, right? But she's the only grappler I can tolerate playing because she has a fireball and like a really slow moving one. So I think Laura's amazing. I don't know if she's top tier, but she is really well designed. She's like kind of like Abel and Makoto, like the mobility of having being able to weave in and out with dashes and all that. And she has a really good command throw. So I think Laura's legit. I think someone's gonna win a tournament with Laura. I think.
Okay, Crimson Rez wants to know, as an Akali person, what should I be focusing on? The guide covers a lot, but I don't want to accidentally skip over the important details.
You want to focus on getting V gauge as often as possible. Uh, One of the main things about Nikali is so his V trigger is indefinite, right? Like once you activate it, he's permanently a better character. And another thing people probably don't realize is that he's he has out of all the characters, he has the easiest ways to gain V gauge. He has I think 3 moves on crush counter. They give him like half stock. His overhead on crush counter gives him like half a bar. His standing fears, his down fears, all of them. If you counter any of them, you get a really early access to your torrent of power, his V trigger, and his ground pound. The Viper little eruption thing. Those give you V gauge too. So they made sure to give him as many tools as possible to gain like an early V gauge. So you want to focus on getting your V trigger really early in the round, even though it's a 3 bar one. It's kind of long. So another thing is, sorry, if you don't gain V gauge through counter hits or whatever, it takes 75% of your life to get 3 bars of V gauge. Did you know that?
I
Like it
didn't.
takes
No, I didn't know
okay.
that.
Yeah, it's universal. So every character. So if you have a 2 bar V gauge, it takes 50% of your life. So 25% for 1 bar. So if you're just holding forward and people are just pounding on you, that's how much life it takes to get a full gauge. But Nikali has plenty of ways to get more V gauge without sacrificing his health. So you want to focus on things like that with him.
Nicky Nacky wants to know who would be considered a good beginner character.
I think Ryu is always good. He's actually like just really easy and you'll learn fundamentals, Like everything is laid out for you. He has a projectile that'll teach you how to play a zoning game. He has really good normals up close. He has links that go from jab, uppercut, or standing medium to another medium into a special move. It's very, very laid out for you. There's no, and everyone knows Ryu. So I think Ryu, and if I had to pick another character, I would probably pick um, maybe someone like Cammy. She's very basic too, in that you only want to do one thing, is go forward. So if you evolve your strategy around attacking, then you'll figure out a way to play Cammy. It's not like there's a lot of depth to her in that way. It's just a lot of hit confirms, aggressive patterns, good rhythm, stuff like that.
Nice.
I think to add to that, I think it might be good to learn Birdie, even though I guess I kind of made fun of him a couple times. Because it can teach new players, sometimes, especially very new players, it's that old sentiment that if I know how to do the moves, that's enough, and that's not it. And so much of what Birdie has that's strong is just his normals and zoning with those. So teaching people that they can kind of try to keep people at mid-range with stuff like standing forward, standing strong, empty canceled into the bullhead outside of range, and then if they jump, he's got 90 anti-airs. I mean, you do the instant overhead early, or not instant, the forward HK, or you do the low strong or upward chain if you had a little bit of a read or whatever. So you have a tool set of zoning things you can do that don't require a ton of execution, that are pretty easy to wrap your head around, and then the damage is absurd. And if you build up meter and catch somebody with one super, you have a good chance of winning that round. So that's probably a good beginner character for people, especially for people that want to actually get good, right? There's going to be a lot of people online just doing stuff. So if just picking Ken and mashing uppercuts 4 all over again, and if you pick a character like Birdie and you just kind of zone and punish really hard, you'll go a long way online and learn the game pretty quickly, I think.
Makes sense. Strong advice. I guess, okay, I have a question, and then we'll close it out. What do you guys think is the best way to improve as a player, no matter what level you're at?
You want to
Play
take this,
people
Joe?
who can kick the crap out of you.
Play strong players.
Find people better than you, yeah. You can't be the best person in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ryan and I kind of talked about this before we went live, and we were talking about the environment in NorCal, how we had players who wanted to get better, and they wanted everyone to get better, When you're playing against someone, don't just beat their ass, Tell them why you're beating their ass, give them options, tell them what they can do, tell them why it's working and, what they need to work on. Don't just sit there, running a train on them, just help them. So if you can foster that kind of environment, even if not everyone's serious about getting better, it's just more pleasant to play in that kind of environment.
Definitely.
Me. So that's
Absolutely.
The number one thing for me is getting better. Is fostering that kind of productive environment.
Good dialogue amongst your training partners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome.